The plot of The Old Man and the Sea summary is of Cuba, Havana. It is the story of an epic struggle between an old, seasoned fisherman Santiago and his life's greatest catch of fish. Santiago is an aged Cuban fisherman. For 84 days, he has set out to sea but every time returned empty-handed. So his fisherman society treats him unlucky. Also, his young, devoted apprentice and friend, Manolin, was forced by his parents to leave the old man in order to fish in a more prosperous boat. Still, the boy continues to care for the old man upon his return every night. He always helps the old man for his need for food and clothes, etc. He usually discusses with him about the latest developments in American baseball, especially the trials of the old man's hero, Joe DiMaggio. Santiago is still confident that all these unproductive streaks will soon end, and that he will be able to resolve to sail out farther than usual the following day. On the 85th day, Santiago does as promised, sailing his skiff far beyond the island's shallow coastal. He enters into the Gulf Stream. He prepares his lines for fishing and drops them. At noon, a big fish, which is a marlin, takes the bait placed by him at the 100 fathoms deep in the waters. Then he expertly hooks the fish, but unable to pull it in. Whereas the fish itself begins to pull the boat with an old man, the old man was unable to tie the line fast to the boat due to fear that the fish would snap a taut line. Therefore, the old man bears the strain of the line with his shoulders, back, and hands, and he is ready to give slack should the marlin make a run. Throughout the day, fish pulls the boat even in the night and through another day, and through another night too. During all the time Santiago endures the constant pain from the fishing line. For every attempt of freedom by fish, the cord cuts his body badly. In spite of all wounds, the old man feels a deep empathy and admiration for the marlin fish. At last on the 3rd day, the fish tires, and Santiago, who becomes deprived and nearly delirious, manages to pull the marlin in close enough to kill it with a harpoon thrust. After the death of marlin, Santiago lashes it to his boat and sets the boat for home. Santiago is excited by the price that the marlin will bring at the market, and even he is more concerned about the people who will eat the fish are unworthy of its greatness. As Santiago sails, marlin's blood leaves a trail in the water and eventually attracts sharks. At first, great mako shark attacks, which he manages to slay with the harpoon. In this struggle, he loses the harpoon and lengths of valuable rope. The old man fights as best as he can, although he kills many sharks as appears. By the time night falls, and continuous fight of Santiago against the scavengers becomes useless. They almost ate the complete meat of marlin and leaving only skeleton, head, and tail. Finally, Santiago arrives home before daybreak, stumbles back to his shack, and sleeps very deeply. The next morning, a crowd of amazed fishermen gathers around the big skeleton of the fish. Even tourists come and see it, without knowing the old man's struggle. Then Manolan comes, who was worried about the old man's absence. He feels satisfied after seeing the old man safe in his bed. Then he fetches the old man some coffee and the daily papers about the scores of baseball. When the old man wakes, the two agree to fish as partners once again. The old man returns to his sleep and dreams about lions at play on the beaches of Africa as usual.